Three federal judges in Atlanta have voiced concerns about parts of President Obama's health care overhaul. The concerns came during a hearing on a challenge to the law.
Joining us live to talk more about this, Dr. Donald Palmisano, a former president of the AMA who opposes Obamacare, and Simon Lazarus, an attorney for the National Senior Citizens Law Center who supports the health care law. First to you, Dr. Palmisano, are you encouraged by what you heard in terms of questions from the court yesterday in Atlanta?
Yes, I think this will be a very important decision. Eventually, the United States Supreme Court will make the final decision, and hopefully they'll do it in 2012. But I think, they made the point that if you can have this individual mandate, you can basically mandate people to do anything.
Mr. Lazarus, again, as you just heard, much of the focus and the furor indeed over that individual mandate. What do you think about that?
Well, I thought that one of the judges pointed out that the whole argument of the opponents of the law, namely that the law is regulating inactivity, just wasn't correct. This is Judge Hull, and she pointed out that when she sits down to calculate how to spend money, whether to, for example, to get health insurance or to go on a vacation, that's activity. Another judge, Judge Marcus, kept emphasizing that 20 million uninsured people visit emergency rooms every year and shift their costs to the rest of us. And he kept asking of the attorney for the states challenging the law, isn't that activity that the federal government has the responsibility or certainly the right to try to address? And those are really critical issues about the law. And it seemed to me to indicate that at least those two judges were probably going to rule to support the mandate. But I acknowledge that there were reasons for opponents, such as the doctor here, to feel encouraged also.
Dr. Palmisano, do you want to respond to that?
I agree with him that nobody can predict what's going to come out of this, but I do believe that when they have time to reflect on all of this and look at all the arguments, they will realize that the argument that everybody's going to need medical care and therefore you have to have insurance is not really correct. I mean, you could be financially well off, elect not to buy insurance. You could live at home and not really venture out, and you could drop dead from a heart attack, and there'd be no medical care involved. And then if this country's built on individual responsibility and a free enterprise system, it's not built on central planning and coercion. There are limited powers given to the federal government, and those powers that are not enumerated to the federal government belong to the states. And so I believe that in the long run, this law will be declared unconstitutional. And because the individual mandate, there's no severability in it, it will end up, the whole law will go down.
Thanks so much to both of you for talking with us this morning. Dr. Donald Palmisano there, a former president of the AMA, and also attorney for National Senior Citizens Law Center, who supports the law, Simon Lazarus.